Alright guys, today we're going to take a look at a couple of very cool tools. I've carried similar ones in my bag for years. I've never been disappointed with the decision to buy these. I got these from lockpickshop.com. They're $85 a piece, which unfortunately is the way I bought them. If you buy them as a pair, I didn't realize they sold them as a pair, it's $150. So you can save a lot of money by buying the pair of them. I should have done it. It's a penalty of going to a public school. I'm going to show you how to use these real quick, but first let's take a look at some of the common elements. We have a rubber handle, and from experience I can tell you, you don't want to grab it like that and torque it, because everything is coming down to that roll pin right there, all the tension that you're putting on it, and you will break or bend that roll pin. It's replaceable, but don't over torque it and you'll never have to replace it because it's kind of a pain to get out of there. Just use your fingers to do the impressioning operation of the tool. We got a washer here. A lot of guys like to take them off. I like it because it saves me some time. I'll show you how in just a minute. We have some needles or feeler gauges here that float in and out. They got a 90-degree bend in them, so you can adjust them individually with your finger if you want to. We have the collet, and the collet loosens or tightens by this knurled nut that you see right here. Obviously when you tighten it down, it'll lock all those feeler gauges in place and they won't move at all. There's a time to tighten it and there's a time not to tighten it. Knowing the difference is the difference between success and failure. So what we're going to do, I've already showed you the tensioner, that roll pin right there. We want to what's called zero this pick before we begin. So loosen up that nut on the end. Find a flat spot. I'm going to use this part of my mat right here. I'm just going to stick them right there. And then this is where I save the time. I'm going to push down on that washer, which then will push all those feeler gauges down simultaneously, so I don't have to do them individually. Saves me a lot of time. Once we're there, you might think, well, tighten down that nut. And you know what? You do want to tighten it, but not too much. You just, when it starts to bind, just give it the smallest of turns, just a nudge. If you tighten it too much, you're going to lock these feeler gauges in place, and this tool will never work for you. Those pins or those feeler gauges have to move freely back and forth, because we're going to open this lock with a technique called impressioning. As we turn this in the lock, counterclockwise and clockwise, the pins will bind, and when they bind, they're going to push those feeler gauges back. When the pin is picked, it'll stop that one. It'll start impressioning on the next one. So it's absolutely critical that these be able to move. Don't over tighten that. Really, just the way I've shown you. Just when it starts to bind a little bit, just give it the tiniest of nudges, and that's it. Nudge is a highly technical term, I realize that, but I think you know what I mean. Let me move this 8-pinner out of the way. We're going to get to him later. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take this 7-pin lock. This is a 7-pin practice lock. I got this also from Lockpick Shop. And always look in the face of the lock and count your pins, because this comes in 7-pin, 8-pin, and 10-pin versions. You have to have the right tool for the number of pins. They're not interchangeable, unfortunately. All right, I'm going to take that in there. I'm going to attack from the side here with the camera so you can see what I'm talking about. Again, 7-pin tool. Everything is zeroed. There's one that's up a little bit. I'm going to mash him back down. And we're pretty close there. There's another one. Not quite zeroed. All right, line up the roll pin with the notch on the core of the lock. And when you do that, again, I'm going to move to the side to give you a slightly better angle. Push it all the way to the rear of the lock, as far as it will go. Try to keep it perfectly flush. In other words, keep a perpendicular angle. And then at that point, once you're all the way in there, begin rotating this back and forth clockwise and counterclockwise. And very quickly, you'll find that you can impression this lock. If you don't get it within about, say, 20 turns, as I haven't gotten it here, pull it out. Press it against a flat surface, and again with a couple fingers, if you got the washer, you can re-zero all of those pins. Push them all back, line it back up, stick it in, and start again. And now we have it open. When you get it to turn, pull it out very carefully, because what we've done now, we've impressioned the lock. You'll notice they're all adjusted just perfectly, but they're still free floating. Now's the time to use that gorilla strength. Tighten that down, because once you tighten it down, now we've got a working key. All you do, you reinsert it, and you can move that lock any way you want, lock it and unlock it. You can also take this and you can measure each of these pins, and you can actually decode it with a decoder that comes with the kit, and you can have a brand new key cut for that. Be much smaller than carrying this big tool around in your pocket all day. All right, that's how that one works. Let's take a look at the 8-pinner. It's a little bit different. Let me go ahead and get it set up, and I'll get right back. Everything about setting up your 8-pin pick is exactly the same as your 7-pin. Okay, loosen it up. I've got it zeroed, as you can see there. And then when you tighten this up, just tiny, just engage the threads. That's it. Don't over torque it. Slide it in, and this is really the only difference between the 7-pin and the 8-pin. The 8-pin takes a little bit longer to pick because we got that extra pin, but other than that, it works exactly the same. Just keep rotating, and eventually it'll impression it, and then there we go. It didn't take very long at all. Pull it out very carefully, lock it down, and just like the 7-pin, you now have a working key. You can decode it and have a brand new key cut for your lock. Okay, let's talk about giving these things away. I'm going to have 2 giveaways here. This is the 8-pinner, this is the 7-pinner. The 8-pinner will come with a 8-pin lock. I got keys for the locks. There'll be 2 giveaways. Go to that website. Register to win. The first name I draw will get the 7-pinner. Second name I draw will get the 8-pinner. Good luck, guys. Thanks for your help. Thanks for your patience. Stay safe. Stay legal.